Okay, we are live on
Fabulous.
Friday, Art Alchemy. And today we've been off for a few weeks, haven't we? Because we've had
We
a lot
have.
going on.
Yeah.
So we'll share all of that news with you. But we thought we'd do a close of season episode because we're going to take a little bit of a break, aren't we, from the podcast as well.
Hmm.
But we'll explain everything in this episode.
We
So
definitely
where do
will.
we want to start, Debs? Got a lot, haven't
We
we?
have got a lot to talk about. So, how's about I came to Brighton?
Oh yeah, that seems like a
Yeah,
while ago now because it was
yeah.
absolutely glorious sunshine as well, wasn't it? It's really hot.
It was, and we might have told you that I've been to Brighton, but there was a lot discussed there. So we've changed quite a lot since that time. So
Yeah, yeah. And it was lovely for you to come to Liberation Art Gallery because you've got art there at the moment, and for us to spend a few days together. And we spent quite a lot of time doing like touristy things, didn't we? Because
we
before
did.
we meet up, we've done a lot of like businessy stuff and really kind of
Yeah.
had
Yeah, the
settled.
first time we met, it was like, let's create Art Hub. And that was like, and we just got great big sheets of paper and planned it all out on because we're artists, aren't we? We like sheets of paper. So
Yeah.
and then the second time it was a lot of marketing talk, wasn't it? Which
Yeah.
was a bit it was that was hard work the second time. You
Yeah.
came to me, didn't you? So
Yeah.
I've been to Ruth in Scotland, then she's come to me in Staffordshire, and then I've gone down to Brighton. That's when we've met.
Yeah, and it kind of marked almost a year. Well, it was a year, wasn't it, in
Was a
art
year. It was a year, yeah.
of doing the art hub within the Heartbeat app. So it was a good time to reflect and chat about everything that we've done in Art Hub, everything that we've learned. Um,
Mm.
but we came to a conclusion, didn't we, that we're moving Art Hub basically. It's not coming to an end, but we're moving it to a Facebook community rather than
A
a
private it's still a private community because it's still in a private group, but
yeah,
it's a free community as
yeah,
opposed to a paid community. That's the difference, really.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, and
Because
it's
we're at a time, aren't we, where we felt like we need to build up our audience and reach
our
more
art as
people,
well, get our art out there more.
and focus on that a bit more, and just prioritize different things, I suppose.
Yes, yes. So, we're still going to do, um, there's lots of things that we did in Art Hub that if you've not been in there, you wouldn't know, but we're still going to do art and chat.
Yeah.
Um, we're going to put a little pause on things like the workshops, group coaching and stuff, but that doesn't mean we're not going to do it. It just means that we're taking a little bit of time out for Ruth and I to do to get our art into a little bit more out there than it is really. So physically getting it out there into galleries and places like that. That's the idea. So we have been in galleries. It's not that we're not, but we just want to get a little bit more, and we want to produce a load more. We're both at a point where we want to produce new collections as well.
Yeah, yeah. My work's changing quite rapidly and quite quickly, and I feel like I need to honor that and give that the time and the space that it needs because you can't do everything, can you?
No.
Uh, and this is stuff that we need to focus on.
Yes, yeah. So, but actually, what's happened since we've sort of made a change, there's a lot that's going on to get our work out there. I've started to do a course on getting gallery ready with the Visual Artists Association, and that has been incredible because they've opened my eyes to a few things that I hadn't really considered. Yeah. So I'm not going to go into those things in great detail, but I will tell you as they happen because that's
Yeah.
quite exciting. So I've had quite a few opportunities that have come up that I don't think would have done if we hadn't made these decisions. And sometimes it just helps us to grow more. And we're hoping that the Art Hub community that we've got in Facebook, and we've opened a WhatsApp group as well for people who aren't in Facebook, that it will allow us to do more, well, for me to do more on YouTube, Ruth does Pinterest more, don't you, really? So do a little bit more where we're actually doing the teaching side of it for free, where you can actually see it as well. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to release a lot of the content from Art Hub as well over time.
Yeah, so I did a lot of blogs all about different artists, different art movements, um, art history, contemporary art, around particular themes. So I'll be releasing those in the Facebook group, which is great because we'd put in a lot of work, didn't we? And we've got a lot of content from Art Hub, so it'd be really
Yeah.
nice to share that with people.
It will, it will. And actually, I was thinking about it because we could start releasing September's because, and so it's gonna tie up to the time of year. Although I'm thinking I might release things a little more quickly, so maybe every couple of weeks, so it will sort of get a little out of sync. I don't know what you think. We haven't discussed this yet, as you can tell. Um, but but yeah, it would be nice. We might be able to sync it up a bit when I
Yeah,
release for people. So you'll get everything that was in Art Hub, you will get for free.
yeah, which is fabulous.
It is, yes. And then if you join the Facebook community, that is, or contact us if you're not on Facebook to be in the WhatsApp group. But what we're going to do is we're going to be doing the blogs as on our personal website. So the things that I've developed will be on my website. The things that Ruth developed will be on her website. So for me, it's art in practice. And for Ruth, it's like all those inspirational artists that you come across, which is great. So yeah, that's quite exciting, really, because we can
Yeah.
start releasing stuff. Yeah.
So we really want to get people chatting in the community as well, don't we? Because we know how vast like the art world is and refining your art practice and all those sorts of challenges that come along with being an artist.
Mm.
So we really want to be able to support people in there as well, don't we?
We do, we do. And I don't know if I've mentioned this already, but we're going to do art and chat on the first Thursday of the month at 10:30. There will be a link in the Facebook group so you can join us on Zoom so you can actually ask questions. Ruth may be busy on some of those occasions, but I will definitely be there all the time because there's quite a lot happening for Ruth within the gallery. So she's been doing extras in the gallery. So this is why there's just things happening for us that have made it more difficult to allocate as much time, but we're still allocating time for Art Hub.
Yeah. And I think it's important that you like value the things that unfold in your life naturally, um, and really like grasp at opportunities when they happen as well. That's
Yeah,
always been an important part of like our values, isn't it? It's like leaning into your intuition and noticing what's going on around you,
it
um,
is.
and
Yeah.
taking the hints without getting too woo-woo from the universe. When doors open, when new doors open. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and we've been doing a lot of that. The thing that Ruth and I didn't want to lose as well was us working together because we actually really work well together. And we inspire each other a little, don't we? We sort of
Yeah.
help each other to not specifically with the artwork, but just to support each other. I had a meeting because on this other artist, they have this coffee roulette thing. And the person who I was matched with, they match you a little bit like, it's artist dating type thing. But in a matching artists so that they can support each other. And something that he mentioned that I thought was really quite interesting was he said, "You've got a lot of artist friends."
Mhm.
And I hadn't really thought about it because I don't think I've always had a lot of artist
Mhm.
friends. I
Yeah.
think that that's something that has developed over time. And I think, but I think it's really important.
It is so important. Yeah. It moves you on so much quicker, doesn't it? Even
Yeah.
like I was saying to you, I was having a conversation with one of the guys in the gallery this week.
Mm,
And we were just talking about all things art stuff, but we were just sharing our experiences and some of the resources that he uses. Like he shared a podcast with me that was fantastic. I'll share it in the Art Hub community all about pricing artwork.
mm.
It went into all the different aspects of it. So, as well as the technicalities of pricing it per square inch or however you decide to do it, the other things that come into play, like experience. What was interesting on that podcast is they talked about the story behind the artwork as being part of the value. So, as well as the being able to paint a good painting, the story that fits behind it is also a big indicator of price range as well, which I thought
Are
was
we
fascinating.
talking about the story of the artwork or the story of the artist? Are you meaning the
It could
story?
be both, but
Mm.
um, definitely you want to have something compelling that draws people in as to what makes you stand out in terms of story, whether that's um, your life experience, how you make the art, or whether it's the story behind the collection and the artwork that you're working on. So,
Yeah, and that is, and actually, that's what we've sort of been doing in this Getting Gallery Ready.
yeah,
We've been looking at our own reasons for painting and story and an artist statement and all of those things. But it's actually really hard sometimes to really hone that down.
yeah.
And yeah.
It
So
is when you're talking about yourself, I think, because you don't always um, see it clearly, do you? It's
you
like it's
don't.
hard to
You
uh,
don't.
reflect. Yeah, yeah,
And I said to Lydia yesterday, would you help me with this?
yeah.
And that's the thing with other artists around you. And you can
Mm,
do it with people. It doesn't have to be an artist if you haven't got artist friends. You can just ask somebody, what do you see in my work?
yeah,
And what she saw was really interesting because she talked about the energy and the color and all of those things, which are probably what Karen said on the call. She said, "What is the first thing that we'll think about when we look at your work?" And I think the things that she was talking about were probably those first things.
yeah.
But it's hard to see that in your own work
It
because
is because you're so used to it. You're so used to looking at it and doing it. It's hard to see it with kind of fresh eyes, isn't it?
it is. And also, I think that we've got a lot of deeper reasons, very deep reasons as
Yeah,
to why you do it as well, which are also relevant,
yeah,
but
yeah,
um, it's not necessarily the first thing you see, which is,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, it's very
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So, I think what you don't realize is when you start going into the business side of things that you have to start looking at yourself again. It's quite
Yeah, definitely. And the thing that I've really found as well, because I'm working with an art coach at the moment to develop my work and have some support in that. And
yeah.
a big reason behind that is because it feels really vulnerable for me at the moment because I'm making artwork about where I am right now. And
Yeah.
that is like emotional turmoil. Some of it is like, and it's a lot of complex and quite often like contradictory emotions as well. So it's like
I
whenever,
think if Ruth, just show them the picture behind you, what you're painting behind you
yeah,
whilst you're,
that,
yeah.
yeah, that's propping up behind me at the moment. So it's a lot kind of, um, a lot darker, a lot more raw. Even the paintings themselves, I feel, are more kind of vulnerable, less
Mm,
polished. Um, so it's bringing all these things out, and yeah, the emotional side of it, as I was saying, often it's quite sort of contradictory. There'll be moments where I'm feeling, well, I've never had so much freedom, and that's amazing, that's exciting, but it's also scary at the same time. So it's putting all that into canvas, and then the story side of it is sharing that in a way that is that I'm being vulnerable with people. I'm letting people in, but I'm also um not to a point where I'm feeling uncomfortable about anything. So it's about getting that balance right as well, isn't it?
Because you are leaving parts of you showing. It's
Yeah.
like you can see where some, because I've obviously been down to Brighton, so I've seen some of Ruth's new work, and you're seeing underlayers that she's going, I'm not going to cover that up. I'm going to
Yeah.
let that show, and it's very much to do with the situation that you're in now, isn't it? It's a
Yeah,
new
it is.
situation.
It's that kind of change where it's like when you have a big shift, things unravel, don't they, first of all, and kind of deconstruct. And I think I've got that in the painting. And then things start to build up again slowly, and you see little glimmers of hope. So it's all of that life stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes it's like, so I was thinking about this the other day, that when you go through a really hard time, it feels like you just don't want to have been there. We
No.
went through something at the beginning of the year which was quite different to Ruth's
Yeah.
life stuff, but something that happened to us. And you just think that it's all negative at the time.
Yeah. And you want to kind of, and I was speaking to Kerry, my coach, yesterday about this. It's that you want to rush out of it. You want it to be done. You want it to be healed. And actually, what you should really do is um, take your time and sit in that uncomfortable moment. And that's what I'm doing with my art. And it's like, it's yeah. I mean, it's a good exercise, but it's hard as well at the same time. So.
But it's cathartic.
Yes, it is. It is. And yesterday
Yeah.
I had a really good day painting and I felt a lot better after it because I think it's such a gift to be able to have a space, isn't it, in your art to express all of these things in a healthy way. A lot of
Mm,
people don't have that and it comes out in all messy, you know, fun
mm,
ways.
mm,
Uh, so to have that space to be able to express it is like it's a release, isn't it?
mm. It is definitely, and like a meditation as well,
Yeah.
like a mindful where you're almost stepping back and watching what's happened,
Yeah.
so you get a different perspective. It's like you see somebody else in a vulnerable position and what they're going through, and you're almost a lot kinder to that person.
Yeah.
And I think that that happens in the art as well because you step back, because if you allow that intuitive feeling and that feeling of flow, you actually get that, which enables you to be kinder to yourself about even about your art as well. If
Yeah,
it's,
yeah,
does that make sense? I think it
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
yeah. And so you get a different perspective on your own personal situation as well. Um, and sometimes that just makes it easier to let go because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah,
It's a
because
process. Absolutely.
yeah, because you're only ever in this moment in time.
Yeah,
But you can be very tied to the past and tied to the future. And
yeah,
really, the only moment we've got is like now. And
yeah,
actually, it's fabulous because this is the thing that we don't want to lose. So we will do a series three, I'm sure. We
yeah,
like talking to each other, don't we, on a Friday
yeah,
morning?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it always brings up stuff that goes on in art that you wouldn't necessarily think about if you're just kind of sitting at home on your own. It's always great to have a conversation with you, Debs, about these things.
Yeah, I enjoy it, really do enjoy it. Um, I think the thing is, we're both, it's quite interesting because we're not going to do the same, but there's a parallelness to what we're doing, isn't there?
Hmm.
So we're both going to art mentors at the moment. So
Yeah,
we're both saying, right, we're going to develop to another
yeah,
stage.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And for the last year, we've been very focused on, I think there's been a lot of, I think we should talk about the real positives from last year because,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's
yeah,
lots to take away from it, isn't there? In terms of
absolutely
that
loads.
art hub and um everything the people that have got from Art Hub as well has been amazing, hasn't it? That's been really kind of validating. I don't think we realised how much we knew before we started Art Hub,
No, definitely not. Yeah.
in terms of like some of the questions that we've been able to answer and some of for me as well, some of the group coaching sessions that we've had have really moved people on as well.
It's also really focused us on. So, for example, I don't know whether you realize this at the beginning of Art Hub, but you don't really want to do courses, but you'd like to do
Yeah,
coaching.
I didn't realise that. Uh,
No. And it was really, really strange because we got halfway through and I was like, I don't want to do coaching. I want to do courses. And you were like, I don't want to do courses. I want to do coaching, which is
Yeah,
actually really good because that means we work quite well together.
yeah,
But there's no competition. We want different
yeah,
things. We
yeah.
actually don't probably want to be in the same galleries or anything really.
Yeah,
Although,
yeah, yeah, we're quite different, but similar
yeah,
enough to be able to, yeah, have that connection. Yeah,
yeah, but the Liberation Art Gallery is slightly different because there's a little bit of like they do that art therapy, and that's where Ruth and I meet this
yeah,
well-being, the fabulous side of art that helps you to connect to yourself, really, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The well-being side of it. Yeah, it was funny with the coaching because and the courses because I didn't realize that I didn't want to do courses until we did a few little mini courses and things, didn't we? And I thought it's not really where I want to be. And I enjoyed the group coaching so much that I thought this is the place where I want to be and how I want to help people. It's like the mechanism, isn't it, that you choose to support people and to help people. There's so many different options.
There is, yeah, yeah. And what I had also hadn't thought about, and it's something that Karen, my mentor, has pointed out to me as well, is that you can help people in a different way. So, like now, we're thinking that we would help people in sort of a free community type way because we still have that wanting to support other artists. And I think that that's interesting because you think, okay, so we're going to focus on the art and we will get the art out there and make the money on the art side of things rather than the community side.
Yeah.
But that enables us to still do that helping other people.
Yeah.
Um,
It,
yeah.
in a more kind of informal way, isn't it, through the Facebook group?
Mm.
Whereas the paid subscription, obviously, because it's paid, you've got more obligation to do more and support people more. And there is a whole management of the tech side as well, which is always a bit more consuming, isn't it? So,
Yeah, and we were quite good at that because we're both IT based in the past, which is unusual for artists. But
yeah, yeah,
but
but
that doesn't mean you want to spend all your time doing it. It's just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
There's a reason why we left IT.
yeah, absolutely. And wanted to be artists.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but it does help.
yeah.
Definitely helps. I'm wondering, I think there was something else that we wanted to discuss. We've discussed our art.
Yeah,
Next steps, perhaps.
yeah, yeah. So, next steps in terms of Art Hub.
Well, we could
Oh,
do art first.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Do you want to your next steps?
Yeah, so my next steps are I'm developing a collection at the moment, so I'm going into full on art creation mode, I suppose, and really experimenting. I'm even thinking about experimenting with different surfaces, different textures, and also I've been interested in portraitures coming into my work and figurative stuff.
Mm.
So that's totally different.
I'm
So
looking forward to that. I was like,
that's going to be like, yeah, I'll see how that goes and see if it feels right. But basically I did a month's worth of artwork in my sketchbook and just let it rip in there without the pressure of doing any finished paintings. And there were quite a few like figurative pieces that came up. um, which makes sense because the all the kind of all the kind of stuff that I'm going through is a lot around identity. Um, since finishing a long-term relationship, I think it's natural that you kind of reassess your identity and who you are as a person when you're no longer in that relationship. But also thinking about my identity in terms of an artist and what I want to say and who I am. So it's going really quite deep into all of that stuff. Um, I've also been thinking about the kind of the narratives behind things like dark fairy tales. So things like Little Red Riding Hood and Alice in Wonderland, and those sorts of things, because I've always been fascinated by nature, by wilderness, and it brings all of that in as well as the story of somebody like finding themselves, really. So it
Yeah.
resonated with me on that front because it feels like you're going through all of this wilderness, all of these kind of challenges, and then you come out the side kind of a stronger person. So there'll be some of that imagery that's going into my artwork as well. Um, and I've also seen in my artwork a lot of new texture, mark making, layers, depth. So I'm going to be
I
continuing.
wonder if I've had a little influence on the layers and things.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, yeah,
I'm not saying I have, but you just
yeah,
wonder, don't you, whether you sort of,
yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Because it's
'Cause
about
I
that.
think you've influenced colour and stuff in, even though it might not be obvious. And I think you've influenced me. I'm definitely playing with oil a little, but
Yeah, yeah, that's
mm,
good to say.
mm,
Um, and then once I've got my new collection together, hopefully it's going to culminate in a solo exhibition at Liberation Art Gallery, which is planned for February. So if I
fabulous.
can get all of this stuff together in time, then that would be like the perfect situation. And then off the back of the solo show, what I'd like to do is I'm having a bit of a revamp of my website and all of that stuff as well. So it matches up with where I'm at with my art and it reflects where I am because I'm feeling a little bit like the older stuff now feels a little bit well, it just feels like my older work. I think it's still going to be there, obviously, but I really want to be able to express what this new collection is, how I've changed as a person as well and as an artist over
Mm,
the last year or so. Um,
mm,
and it's taken a while to really embed that in as well. So I think when we had the art hub going, we've talked about this, it was great for me in terms of having a routine after finishing work,
yeah,
having the structure, because I think without that, I think it would have been too much. It would have been, yeah, really scary. So
yeah.
all of that really helped me as well along the way to be able to,
Yeah, because in Art Hub we had something every Thursday we had something that we had
yeah,
to do, and then we all had the background admin stuff as well. So there was quite a lot of deadline in a way, but they weren't. It wasn't awful. We had plenty of time to do things,
yeah,
but it was fairly, and you could schedule ahead, which meant that you could do things in, but it was still there was still a structure, a big structure there, wasn't there? And
yeah,
then the Art Alchemy on a Friday morning as well. We've come together,
yeah,
and yeah, and just the regularness of it all through the summer. It doesn't matter that it's coming up to Christmas. We always had set times for things like art and chat, art in practice, live workshops, all sorts of things that we did, like group coaching. Yeah. So this is we're going to have to replace that because we
yeah,
do still need structure.
yeah,
Otherwise, we're like
yeah, all over the place. Yeah,
and probably not necessarily in the studio because sometimes it's dead easy to like go, oh, and I'll just catch up on with my friends that I haven't actually seen or done something different.
yeah,
So I like a little bit of structure, but I think that might be where we still come together on a bit of an accountability thing as well. We might do a little bit.
yeah, definitely. We're still planning on catching up, aren't we, and talking about where our art's going because It's great to have well, we've got to know each other really well, haven't we? So
Yeah,
it's
we've become friends, really.
friend
That's yeah.
as well as somebody who understands all the art stuff. And we both growing as artists and people as well. So it all matches up really well, doesn't it?
It
Terms of
does.
who we are, where we're going, and all of that
Mm.
stuff. And just to drop it in there, we've not said that we'll never do a community again, or we
No,
won't
we
do a
haven't.
program
Or a course, a program. Like
or
we were
course of
planning to
coaching.
do.
So
Yeah,
we've still got that kind of bubbling on in the background, haven't we? And I think
yeah,
that we don't want to promise anything, but I think it will be probably something that we do in the future
I
because we
think so.
work together so well. And it's
Yeah.
really rare to find somebody that is a friend and you can get on in business together as
Mm.
well.
Yeah, probably
Um,
because we weren't friends at the beginning, and don't mean that we weren't friends. We just didn't know each other,
yeah,
and I think that we went into it quite businessy, didn't
yeah,
we? And
yeah,
and then we've become friends, really.
yeah,
But the other thing is because we balance each other.
yeah,
So because we do still want to do roadmap, it is definitely there. We'd like to do roadmap, which means that I would do the course side of it and things like portfolio reviews, that sort of thing. And then you would do the coaching side. I feel like we just need that little bit more of our own art experience and our own
yeah,
art time.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Before we
Going out there
quite get
and walking the walk, I think, before we.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it feels. Although we don't want roadmap to be a business thing at all. That's not
No,
what we want.
no.
We want art to be available to anybody who wants it. And
Yeah.
there's been a lot of blocks and people just who think that they can't do it when they really want to. And that's what we want to actually, we want to
Yeah.
reach those people really. On my art front, by the way, I have got, I'm going to be working on a new collection as well, but I'm opening the studio because I'm in the Visual Artists Association. Um, I've actually been in there for years, you know. I've not utilized it as much as I should have done.
Yeah.
But I'm currently doing the getting gallery ready and my art mentors through them. But the thing that is quite exciting is that they accepted me as a space within their open spaces, which runs through October, and it is the biggest grassroots art trail in the world. And I'm like, I've been accepted. So come and see me in October. I'm going to open the studio on Fridays and Saturdays. And not only will I have my art on display, you can see we've painted, can you see the painting wall? So that
Yeah. Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
haven't actually got the display up, but I've just sort of put paintings up there. But yes, I'm going to have an exhibition, but at the same time, I'm going to be a working studio. So I'm going to be working on my new collection at the same time. So do come and see us.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
So you can find all that. I'll probably try and put the details below as
Yeah.
to when that I'll be open because so I've got that to work on in October. November, I've got something where my art's going. Fingers crossed. I'm not yet. I don't want to say too much, but definitely my art is going out further than the studio.
Yeah.
So there won't be any art in here anymore. It'll all be out there,
Yeah.
ready for the new stuff. But that's as much as I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, Debs, that you've got in the diary?
Only that no, from my art point of view, that's where I'm at. But from the art hub point of view, we'll put in the thing below about where the art hub community. If you want to actually be in the WhatsApp group, if you're not on Facebook, then let us know because if you just direct message us, we'll add you to the WhatsApp group. But we do
Yeah.
need your telephone number in order to be able to find
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we need to do that via a direct message.
Yeah.
But if you just let us know if you want to be in, yeah, in that
Yeah.
group, Facebook group, just ask to join and we'll let you in.
And I think the other thing that we're both going through with our art at the moment is I want to spend the next sort of remainder of this year looking at different networks, particularly in London, because I'm close to London now, and figuring out my position in art galleries, which is quite a thing, isn't it? Um, and it's probably something that we'll end up talking about in the podcast, I think, because it's one of these things where art galleries can quite often feel like cloak and dagger, and they keep their
A
cards
bit
close to their
gated, it feels
chest,
like.
don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like it's asking yourself, well, where do I fit in? Because there's lots of different options. Um, geographically. And I was speaking to Angus about this actually in the gallery the other day about, you know, how certain towns and cities have their own personalities as well, don't they?
Mm,
It's
they do.
reflected
Brighton has a
in,
very strong personality.
yeah, and that's reflected in the galleries and the artwork. So, I suppose Brighton's known for being very diverse, very liberal in
Mm-hmm.
its attitudes, a little bit rebellious, a little bit of a party town.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's interesting to see that reflected in the artwork here. And
And
for,
it's also got the seaside element as well, because whether you're coastal or whether you're in the Yorkshire Dales or whether those different feels of the locality and the countryside that's around you as well affects the art.
yeah, it does. It does. And you asked me an interesting question yesterday as well, Debs, whether you think that you'll start seeing hints of Brighton aesthetic
Mm,
artwork,
I wondered.
which I'm sure might come in time, and it might already be there without me even realizing. But I think at the moment it's very much all about what's going on on the inside for
Mm,
me. So that's what I'm focusing on. But there's something coming back to my point. I think there's something in that whole exploration of galleries and places and people and finding like your little niche, isn't it? Your little corner. Where do I fit in? Uh,
mm,
because there's so many different options, and then you start looking at things like pricing as well and all
mm.
that stuff. So
Yeah, and also it's not just about do you want to be in galleries at all? I mean, there are so many other things that you
yeah,
can go
good.
down. You can sell your own art from the online market, and then you've got the online
Yeah,
market
yeah,
to deal
yeah,
with, or you can sell in online galleries, or you can
yeah,
sell in art through art licensing or
yeah.
publishing, or there's
You can
so
do
many
Yeah,
different
you can do
ways of
direct
doing it.
commissions for people. You don't even need galleries these days. You can do work
Mhm.
directly with customers. You can
Or you
organize.
could do what I did at the beginning of the year, where you've got a collective and
Mhm.
you have a gallery space, but you're putting on your own exhibition. Um,
Yeah,
so there's
yeah,
so many ways of doing
yeah.
it.
And I think it's interesting, Debs, because you did that this year and you had a few revelations in yourself, didn't you? Because you've got to ask yourself, what do you want to spend your time on doing? What are the bits that you are?
I mean, we're doing it again in 27. We've got booked. It's that far ahead.
Mm.
In Shrewsbury in Bear Steps, and it's a lovely gallery. We're doing that then, but yeah, but it's interesting because you have to man it. And it's that manning it. So that means that you've got 2 weeks of having to man it. And if there's less of you, because there was
Yeah.
only three of us, then you have to man it between you. It's not just like being there for for the opening, or it's you've got to be there all the time. And I think you've had a similar revelation in as much as I think people go, gosh, that galleries take 50% of your, and I think if it's something like the publishers, it's more, but then you have to realize just how much is
How much
involved
work goes in?
and how
Yeah.
much rent they've got and
Oh
how
my gosh,
much,
yeah, business
yeah,
rates and all of that stuff. And
yeah. So there's so much that goes into those gallery spaces that you're just not even aware of.
yeah,
The same as like art fairs, you have to, it's like a couple of £1,000 for Manchester Art Fair, and that
yeah,
just feels huge. It just feels like, but then you get the and any money you get
yeah,
then, so
yeah.
you sell
It
your
goes
work.
back to you, yeah. And then
Yeah.
there's the whole they have um basically little pods, don't they, that are ready for you to set up and just hang up your paintings, and that part of it is made much easier.
Yeah.
And
Whereas that, sorry, go on. Yeah,
it's the whole promotion of the event as well, which
exactly.
when you were doing your event, you have to do all of that yourself.
Yeah, yeah. We did a podcast, didn't we? Do you remember? And that was
Yeah,
like about all the stuff that we had to do to prepare. But we have also, I mean, I've done things in locally. So I've hung in the church. The church was fabulous. It looked absolutely fabulous. It took me a whole week to set up because we didn't want to put nails in the walls. And it
yeah,
was like we had to sort of put things onto the pews to
yeah.
hold paintings, and that was just a huge amount of work. So these spaces that if you can get into a gallery, then that's a good thing. If they're taking 50%, then you think they do earn that. They
It's
do.
actually a really good deal, to be honest, because the other thing is as well is
Yeah,
like the actual ripple effect of you being in the gallery and your artwork being on a wall. It's getting your name out there, isn't it? And
it is.
passers-by that aren't going to stumble across your website. And the other thing is that it's all very well having your artwork online, but I think in order for people to buy certainly originals, they need to see the pieces and really connect with them in person, I think.
Yeah, you do find, I mean, you can build a following which buys online, but it's to do with building your email lists and all sorts of things as well. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah, you have to build those connections, whether it's like you're having chats with people online or you still got to do all of that groundwork.
yeah.
And it's interesting because we're not quite there yet where everything's just flowing out the door. We've not got there, but we as you get closer to that point, and we know that we're closer than we were,
Yeah,
you realize just how much work it all is. And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so it makes you appreciate things
Mm.
a lot more.
Yeah, even just like the delivering of artwork, the shipping and all of that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And when
Dealing
I
with
delivered,
customs now we're out of the EU and you've got tariffs in the US and all of that stuff.
yes, yes, yes. So yeah. And it's really interesting because I think that in the past you would have had to be in a gallery, so you'd either have been um, an artist that could do that, or you just sold to a few friends and that's all
Yeah.
you could do. You didn't have the internet. So there are different ways of doing it, and it depends where you want to
Mm.
put your focus, really.
And I think a big part of the advantages of the internet is not necessarily having the selling platform, but being able to build a community online and reach people to do things like collectives and your own pop-up events and
Mm.
kind of the more, I don't know, DIY approach to the art stuff as well. So that's really helpful. And just all of the material now that you can get online as well, podcasts and things that just help you on your way, isn't there?
Yeah, YouTube, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you can. And then
Mm.
yeah, it's good. There's a lot out there. It's just a little overwhelming at times. And I think that what we're discovering about, because I've had a mentor before and you've had a mentor before, haven't you? So you get to points where you just need that little bit of help as well to get to the next stage. I do
Yeah.
feel that you get to that point and then you're like, I'm not really sure where I'm going from here. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm at this little crossroads, and that's interesting, the fact that we're finding that very useful as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I mean, for me, she's really helped me define where I want to be and who I want to be in the art world. I know that I want to be doing things like artist talks and engaging with people on different subjects and really having my own voice in the art world. That's really important to me. I think coming from more of a working class background than most people traditionally in the arts, there's things that I want to say and things that I want to do. Um, and I think it comes back to I think in the end, it comes back to who would I have wanted to see as a child? What would have inspired me growing up to make me think all of this is possible? Sometimes I
Mm.
still pinch myself now to think like where I am. I'm in Brighton, I'm making my own artwork. So
Mhm.
it's something that I want to like celebrate as well for myself. Um, so she's really helped me lean into that part of me and understand what it is that really motivates me because there's so many distractions as well, aren't there? It's very easy to be like, oh, I just want to sell my artwork and not really put much thought into the meaning for it behind you. So you're on a path where it's actually really satisfying because it's very easy to get distracted and go down one path and be like a few months like, oh, this is not really where I wanted to be. So it
Very,
helps.
very easy because you also get opportunities, don't you, that people ask you to do stuff and you're like,
Yeah.
is that
And you think you
what
should
I
just
want
say
to?
yes to everything,
Yeah,
but
you
you
just, yeah,
could
definitely.
think about,
Particularly at the beginning.
yeah. But for you, Debs, you're thinking about you find it very easy to do paintings quickly, and I think you've got the opportunity there to be prolific in your art making. So then that's about thinking about, well, what space do I fit in if I'm making a lot of artwork? This is where I want to be. I want to be in the studio focusing on this stuff.
Mm.
So there's
And if
no
I
right
can
or
do
wrong.
that,
It's
it
very
is that
different.
where we'll have enough wall space to
Yeah.
do that. It's
Yeah.
like for me to actually do that because I've filled my walls. So
Yeah. Well, it's about you getting yourself into a space, isn't it, where you're happy with the day-to-day stuff and what you're doing. And
yes.
we've got the opportunity now to carve out our own spaces.
Mm, exactly. Because it does depend on where you're happier working. So you do
Yeah.
need to know what that is. So I can only do so many collections at the moment because I haven't got the throughput of being able to get them out there. So yeah, that's definitely something that's got to change over the next year, I reckon. That'll be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Whereas I want to be making work that's actually a bit slower, a bit takes time and that kind of stuff. And it's just different. And then
mm,
that's going to mean something different for me in terms of where I sell, how I sell, all of that stuff. So it's interesting, isn't it? Like,
it is, yeah. Yeah, mine's all about energy and exploring, and it's just like, yeah. Yeah, so it is a bit different. You're
mm,
actually, it reflects some of our personalities, doesn't it? It's quite
just
interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah, it does. I
Yeah.
only just thought of that. It's like, I don't know why. You have to understand that. I was going to say that you're more introverted than me, which is true. But we're both confident, aren't we? Both have confidence.
Yeah, I mean, I think quite often introverts get a bit of a bad rep because I think you can be introverted, but you can also be sociable and confident. I don't think it
Yes.
necessarily means you want to hide away. All it means is that my energy comes from being on my own and having that time and space on my own. Solitude in a nice way. Um,
Mm,
whereas I think you get your energy more from interacting with people and being more spontaneous as well, don't you? So we talked about doing things like live workshops because that's where you excel, is you're very good at doing things off the cuff spontaneously. If somebody asks you a question in a workshop, you'll just do it. Whereas me as an introvert, I'll be like, oh, I need to go away and plan this and think about it more and spend some time with me in my own head. So
mm.
that's where we're very different, isn't it?
Very, very different. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I feel like, and it doesn't always work, but sometimes something can just come out of it when I'm working in front of people. I don't have
Yeah.
any issues with working in front of people.
Mm.
In fact, I quite like that.
Mm.
But after saying that, I do sometimes need time just to like
Oh yeah,
explore.
everybody does. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely
definitely.
do.
With your artwork.
I had like George went out, so I was just on my own in the house, and that was nice yesterday. I was just like did a load of painting. That was just sort of because I don't get that very often because there's lots of people around me a lot. So
Really focus time, isn't it, to do your art?
yeah, yeah. And I think that on that note, we've actually spent quite a lot. Okay, we've probably almost spent an hour.
Don't worry, it's only meant to be a short podcast. This is what happens
This
when
was meant to be like a 10-minute
we get chatting
podcast.
about stuff. It goes in all directions. But
But I think it was quite interesting, some of the gallery stuff that we've talked about.
yeah,
And yeah, and I think that we all we need to say is all the details will be below about joining us. So do join us and do come
yeah,
to Art and Chat. All we do in Art and Chat, which is the first Thursday of the month, and it's at 10:30 in the morning. So if anybody wants to join us, come literally bring yourself a cup of tea or whatever, a drink and something to paint.
yeah,
Just your own thing.
yeah, yeah.
And then what we do is
Mm.
we'll come in and we'll say hi, and then sometimes we just go quiet because we're painting, or sometimes somebody will ask a question, and I tend to leave it towards the end. But if somebody's asked a question, they say, "How do you do a gold leaf?" or any sort of question. If I can answer it, I'll answer at the time because I've got access to materials here, so I can often just like show.
Yeah, do stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes we just sit and paint.
Yeah, and just literally have a chat about what's going on. So it's nice, it's relaxed, it's friendly.
Yeah, there's no planning involved. There's no you have to bring this. It doesn't.
No, no. But the good
Yeah.
thing is, I think for people, it helps them just carve out that time to be creative with other people, doesn't it? So it helps. It's nice. It's relaxing.
It is. And also you can get to talk to other artists as well. So
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Right. Anything else, Ruth? We will be back
So,
with our alchemy. This is the end of series two, and currently it will be by the time you hear it on Spotify. But currently, series two isn't on Spotify, so we're going to start releasing it onto Spotify as well,
yeah, yeah,
um, just so that it's there, really. So that'll be happening up until Christmas, and then I think in the new year we're thinking that we might reconvene for series three.
yeah,
But we'll just assess it at the time.
yeah. We'll play it by ear. But it's been lovely doing this season because we've switched to a live podcast rather than recorded podcast.
Hmm.
But we found it a lot, well, for a start, there's a lot less time involved in editing afterwards. Um, but we needed that first season, didn't we, to do the recordings because
You wouldn't have sat through
you
all of our
wouldn't have,
ums and ahs.
oh,
It would have been like
highlights, giggles, and all of that stuff. So we needed to do that first season, didn't we, as recorded, and then it's given us the confidence to like be able to just go live and have a chat. And
yeah,
also, I suppose it's we've got to know each other more as well. Like the conversation just flows easier, and we've got so much to talk about since we've been working together for a year as well. So,
absolutely.
but it's
Yeah.
been nice. It's been nice going live. I think we'll keep that format going forward, won't we,
I
Dave?
think so. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And it may be that we do other things because we thought about doing some painting and all sorts of things, haven't
Yeah,
we, in the past? So you
yeah,
never know. Series three might be
yeah.
different again. We'll
Yeah.
decide.
We'll see where we are then.
Yeah, as things progress,
Yeah.
we never know. So I'm going to say bye for now.
Yeah. See you soon.
All right. Bye.